To win for who? Who?
And I stopped. I said, what? And he said, you know, Rudy got traded. And I said, to who? And he said, Sacramento. And then obviously right away I thought, obviously, who else is involved? Because, you know, it's rarely just one guy. And that's when they said Quincy and AG got traded too. So it's always just crazy to find out that way.
What happened? Rudy, AG, and Quincy got traded. I'm not playing like I just heard it.
What?
What? Hold on, Mambo said he should
Wait, what? Everybody come there. We gonna figure this out. What?
Hold on, I don't know his name.
It was, at first it was just kind of trying to get all the facts and make sure everything was right. And then when you just took kind of a second to really think about it, it was just sad. You know, you realize like, okay, it really is official.
Wow. Wow, that was some insane access. So Jeff, was that kind of a defining moment for you and Jeff Rocky as producers of this show? Because I mean, that's footage that was taken by Grantland, Yahoo. Everybody was retweeting and using it for their stories.
Yeah, first let's mention Jeff Rocky. He's the cameraman that works on
big
the
ups
show.
to Jeff.
So he's the guy who's capturing all the stuff that we see. Just a brilliant cameraman. But yeah, that night was heavy. Like we're just a camera crew, a TV crew, and we're witnessing this. And you grow, you gain relationships with these guys, and you're used to these guys, and all of a sudden, just like it played out on the TV, we get onto the bus, head to Staples. No one knew anything. And it was literally like 2 minutes before we got to Staples Center when the tweets started coming out. And none of the guys knew until we hit the locker room. And yeah, just to witness that, to capture it.
Handling footage like that's like handling plutonium too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was not obviously not only the defining moment of our season Open Gym, but also with the team. But yeah, that took the stuff that we had captured over the season prior and up until that point, it took it to another level when you captured that type of moment.
Dan, I mean, we always talk about athletes and they make a lot of money, but I mean, seeing stuff like that really humanizes them, brings them back down to the personal level. You were out there.
Well, I wish we could have shown that on the broadcast that night. I mean, we could only cover it the way we were granted different access that night. But I do want to say this, and you know, we all work really hard when we're covering the Raptors, but it's also, sometimes I refer to it as Raptors camp, because it's just so awesome to be part of this traveling circus that is an NBA team on the road. And you know, the schedule always comes out in like July or August, the NBA schedule, and you know, there's certain days you circle and certain trips you really look forward to. And I remember asking Landicho which trips Open Gym was going to be on, and for some reason they weren't originally on this trip. And where do we go? Was it Golden State?
This is a long one. This is a long West Coast. It was
Portland,
LA.
not Portland.
Golden State, Phoenix.
Golden State, Phoenix. We ended up in Los Angeles, and I'm taking a little credit for talking you into coming on this trip, because, man, I think I even said to you that day when we got on the plane after the LA game, and by the way, it was awesome when they beat the Lakers, because it had been like 11 years. You were probably at the last game when they beat the Lakers in LA. I think it was in 2000 or 2001.
No, I was not.
Oh,
in
okay.
LA.
Okay. You only go to the playoff games. Okay, not bad.
But I got one for Nav. Now, you have an actual, you're one of the few that get a chance to have actual relationships with the players. So you're tightly knit with this group. So, I mean, after a trade like that, how does that shake up your relationships, and how do you see that change the guys who are part of the group that remains?
Well, my relationship is as strong as it is before. It doesn't change actually, because once I build a relationship, I don't lose that relationship. Doesn't matter where they play. I'll give you an example. Vince Carter trade.
Yep.
I was saddened by the fact, but NBA is a business.
Yes.
You know, we have to be, I have learned now in the last 20 years to live with it.
Live with the decision.
So, but Vince Carter goes to New Jersey. He was still my friend.
Yeah.
He goes to Orlando. He still is my friend. He goes to Dallas. He still is my friend. So it doesn't matter where they play. They still are my friends.
They were once a Raptor, always a Raptor.
Always a Raptor in my heart and in my relationship.
All right, well, listen, we still have more to break down on the very special Open Gym edition of your favorite basketball show, The Hangout. We'll be back speaking with superfan Nav, super producer Jeff Landisho, and super good friend of mine, Dan Gladman. We got to talk about the guy you were just talking about, the legend, Air Canada, Vincent Lamar Carter, when we return on The Hangout.